Your skin's moving layers hide a hidden battle that gets amplified when tattoo needles strike. This entire system goes into absolute chaos. Millions of cells die instantly, your immune system launches a full-scale invasion response, and something remarkable happens that turns your body into a permanent art gallery. Over 40% of Gen Z and millennials now carry tattoos, and modern immunology shows what that ink really does under your skin. Each tattoo creates a biological drama where your immune cells become permanent prisoners to the very particles they're trying to eliminate. These microscopic guards sacrifice their freedom to keep foreign ink trapped in place, creating an ongoing experiment that lasts your entire lifetime. To understand how this works, we need to start with how your skin actually operates. The skin factory that never sleeps. Every hour, your body sheds roughly 200 million dead skin cells in a process that never stops. Your epidermis renews itself completely every 28 days, creating dozens of layers of dead cells that get replaced continuously. Think of your skin like a conveyor belt. Only ink placed under the belt and living skin stays put. Right now, stem cell factories deep in your skin churn out fresh batches of new skin cells around the clock. These cellular workers get manufactured with a single purpose: climb to the surface and die for protection. They start their journey upward immediately, pushing older cells toward their inevitable end. The timing operates with mechanical precision. During their climb, these cells transform from living tissue into hardened protective barriers. They produce waterproof coatings, lock themselves together, then voluntarily dry out and die right on schedule. No cell gets to opt out of this process. The scale of this operation produces staggering numbers. The outer layer you can touch consists entirely of these dead workers, stacked dozens of layers deep. Your skin literally wraps you in a protective shield made of cellular corpses that gets completely replaced every month. Modern tattoo culture creates a massive challenge for this system. People now cover enormous sections of their bodies with ink. Full-sleeve tattoos, back pieces, and leg coverage have become standard. Some individuals sport tattoos across 30% or more of their skin surface. When you scale up tattooing across these vast areas, you're interrupting the cellular renewal process across millions of square millimeters. The skin renewal system doesn't know how to handle this kind of interference. For millions of years, this process evolved to deal with small cuts, scrapes, and minor damage. The occasional thorn or sharp rock never threatened the entire operation. But modern tattoo needles create controlled destruction across areas larger than anything your skin's management system ever anticipated. Tattooing the surface layer accomplishes absolutely nothing useful. Trying to inject ink into dead skin cells makes about as much sense as writing on tissue paper during a hurricane. Those dead cells are already scheduled for removal and replacement. Any ink deposited in the dead zone gets swept away with the regular cellular turnover that happens continuously. The surface offers no permanence and no way to hold onto foreign material. The real challenge lies in reaching the living tissue underneath this death conveyor. So tattoo needles must puncture into the living dermis below, where a completely different world exists, a bustling community of very much alive and very protective residents. Your skin's renewal system operates on such a massive scale that it makes most industrial operations look simple. The cellular turnover rate means your body completely replaces its entire outer surface roughly every month. This renewal process requires constant energy, resources, and coordination between billions of individual cells. Different areas of your body operate on slightly different schedules and specifications. The skin on your palms and soles produces thicker, more durable layers designed for heavy use. Your eyelid skin creates delicate, thin layers that prioritize flexibility over durability. Each area customizes its output for local conditions and usage requirements. This biological system has one major design flaw that becomes critical during tattooing. It was never designed to accommodate permanent foreign residents. The entire operation assumes that anything not supposed to be there will either get expelled with the regular cellular turnover or destroyed by security forces. Nothing in millions of years of evolution prepared this system for someone deliberately injecting massive quantities of indestructible particles into the living tissue below. When tattoo needles breach the outer defenses, they bypass every natural protection mechanism your skin spent millennia developing. The needles punch through dozens of layers of dead cells like tissue paper, creating direct access to the living community beneath. This represents a complete system failure from the renewal system's perspective. The scale of modern tattooing amplifies this problem exponentially. A single tattoo session can create thousands of individual breach points across large areas. Each needle penetration represents a catastrophic security failure that triggers emergency protocols throughout the entire area. The living cells below suddenly find themselves dealing with an invasion of unprecedented scale and duration. Modern tattoo technology makes these breaches even more precise and devastating. Current tattoo machines operate with computerized precision, creating consistent penetration depths and uniform ink distribution. The needles move faster and more accurately than ever before, overwhelming the skin's ancient defense systems with surgical efficiency. What used to be crude puncture wounds have become precisely engineered delivery systems for foreign material. The Renewal system's management starts receiving emergency signals from deep underground. Living cells that have never experienced direct contact with the outside world suddenly find themselves exposed to air, light, and massive quantities of unknown substances. The security forces, which normally deal with minor bacterial incursions or small injuries, face something completely outside their operational parameters. This is where the real biological drama begins. The skin's neat, orderly production schedule gets thrown into chaos as emergency response teams mobilize. The living tissue below the surface becomes a battlefield where ancient biological defense systems clash with modern human artistic ambitions. Your immune system, which has been quietly maintaining security in the deeper levels, suddenly faces the largest challenge it may ever encounter. The perfectly orchestrated cell renewal continues above, oblivious to the chaos erupting in the living tissue below. Dead cells keep marching toward the surface on schedule while the neighborhood underneath transforms into something completely different. But what exactly lies beneath that protective barrier of dead cells? What kind of world exists in that hidden space where your tattoo will make its permanent home? Welcome to the Dermis neighborhood. Below the epidermis lies the dermis, a bustling network of blood vessels, nerves, and your immune system's patrol units, macrophages, guarding the living tissue. These immune system janitors maintain constant surveillance throughout this underground world, ready to clean up any biological mess that threatens the neighborhood's stability. Blood vessels form the highway system, carrying supply trucks of nutrients and oxygen to every neighborhood. Nerve endings create a communication network faster than fiber optic cables, instantly reporting everything that happens to City Hall in your brain. The lymphatic drainage network functions as the city's waste management system, hauling away cellular garbage and maintaining sanitation standards. Each component operates with mechanical precision, creating a thriving biological community that most people never think about. But the dermis operates more like an exclusive gated community than a regular city. The Homeowners Association here makes suburban HOAs look relaxed and welcoming. This biological neighborhood association consists entirely of immune system patrol units that take security extremely seriously. They maintain constant surveillance, run background checks on every visitor, and have zero tolerance for unauthorized residents. These security forces have been keeping the peace for your entire life, dealing with occasional bacterial trespassers and minor injury situations with military efficiency. The macrophages stationed in the dermis represent an elite security force trained for rapid response and absolute commitment to neighborhood protection. Studies show macrophages arrive within minutes of needle puncture to consume tattoo ink. They operate with the paranoia of Secret Service agents combined with the territorial instincts of guard dogs. Every single immune cell carries sophisticated detection equipment that can identify threats at the molecular level. They know the exact chemical signature of every authorized resident and maintain detailed profiles of potential troublemakers. These cellular security guards run continuous patrols through every street, alley, and building in the dermis community. Modern tattoo technology in 2025 has developed precision capabilities that target this dermis neighborhood with surgical accuracy. Advanced tattoo machines now use computerized depth control systems that can penetrate exactly 1.5 to 4 millimeters into the dermis layer. Smart tattoo machines incorporate sensors that detect skin thickness and automatically adjust needle depth to ensure consistent ink placement within the target zone. Rotary machines offer artists unprecedented control over needle movement, allowing them to deposit ink with millimeter-level precision throughout the dermis infrastructure. These technological advances mean that 2025 tattoo needles can navigate the dermis landscape like guided missiles. Ultrafine needle configurations create delivery systems that can thread between blood vessels and nerve networks while depositing ink particles directly into the spaces between structural elements. Pneumatic machines operate with lightweight efficiency that reduces trauma while maintaining pinpoint accuracy throughout extended tattooing sessions. The precision of modern equipment allows artists to create hyper-realistic designs and 3D effects that require exact ink placement within specific dermis neighborhoods. The dermis security forces have never encountered anything remotely similar to tattoo ink in their operational history. For millions of years, their training focused on identifying and eliminating biological threats like bacteria, viruses, and cellular damage. Their standard operating procedures assume that unauthorized substances can be either destroyed through chemical warfare or physically removed through the lymphatic waste system. The immune patrol units carry sophisticated weaponry designed for conventional biological combat, not permanent foreign occupation by indestructible particles. These security forces operate with the single-minded dedication of neighborhood watch volunteers who actually have military training and legal authority to use deadly force. They maintain constant readiness for biological emergencies and pride themselves on their perfect track record of keeping unauthorized residents out of the dermis community. Every immune cell undergoes extensive training in threat identification, chemical warfare, and coordinated response tactics. They consider themselves the elite protectors of cellular civilization. The dermis neighborhood features a complex layout that creates numerous hiding spots and strategic positions for both residents and potential invaders. Collagen fiber networks form structural supports that create maze-like pathways between different districts. Elastic fiber systems provide flexibility that allows the entire community to stretch and move while maintaining structural integrity. The extracellular matrix creates a gel-like environment that serves as both cushioning and a medium for chemical communication between residents. This underground city maintains direct connections to your body's central command systems through blood vessel highways that carry intelligence reports and emergency supplies. The communication networks operate with fiber optic speed, transmitting chemical signals that coordinate responses across the entire biological infrastructure. Sensory outposts stationed throughout the dermis provide real-time monitoring of temperature, pressure, and chemical conditions that might indicate security threats. The dermis community operates under strict zoning regulations that determine where different types of residents can live and work. Structural proteins maintain the framework districts, while specialized cells handle utilities and maintenance in designated areas. The immune patrol units have established strategic checkpoints at key intersections and maintain rapid response stations positioned for maximum coverage of potential trouble spots. This organizational system has maintained peace and security throughout the dermis for your entire lifetime. Modern tattoo sessions create unprecedented challenges for dermis security because the invasion occurs simultaneously across thousands of different locations. Each needle penetration creates a separate breach point that requires individual attention from local patrol units. The scale of modern tattoo coverage means that security forces must coordinate responses across vast areas of the dermis landscape, while dealing with massive quantities of unknown foreign material flooding into their jurisdiction. Advanced tattoo techniques in 2025 compound the security challenge by creating deeper, more precise penetrations that reach previously untouchable areas of the dermis community. Augmented reality preview systems help tattoo artists plan exact placement strategies that target specific neighborhoods within the dermis infrastructure. These technological capabilities mean that modern tattoos can establish permanent bases in areas that older tattooing methods never reached. The immune security forces face the unprecedented situation of dealing with an invasion that brings no obvious biological threat, but refuses to leave the premises. Their standard response protocols assume that successful elimination of foreign substances will restore normal community operations. The dermis patrol units have no operational experience with permanent foreign residents who appear harmless, but establish unauthorized long-term occupancy throughout the neighborhood infrastructure. This peaceful underground city that has operated with clockwork efficiency for decades is about to face something that will shatter its quiet existence forever. The apocalypse begins. The first needle strike hits the dermis with devastating precision. Each needle strike kills thousands of dermal cells instantly. Your immune system registers it as tissue injury requiring immediate emergency response. Modern tattoo machines operate around 50 to 150 cycles per second, meaning these needle penetrations create a relentless barrage that turns the orderly dermis neighborhood into a zone of continuous cellular damage. The scale of cellular destruction during tattooing sessions creates immediate biological chaos. Each individual strike obliterates hundreds of dermis residents instantly as the mechanical trauma rips cell membranes apart, exposing cellular contents to the outside environment for the first time in their existence. Blood vessels get severed, creating hemorrhaging that floods the dermis landscape with red blood cells. Structural proteins that took years to build get destroyed in milliseconds. Nerve endings that have been quietly monitoring the neighborhood suddenly find themselves exposed to air and foreign substances, sending panic signals throughout the entire biological communication network. The dermis residents experience instant destruction as needle strikes create zones of total cellular obliteration. Fibroblast construction workers get crushed under the mechanical assault while trying to maintain their structural repair duties. Sensory cells that have spent their entire existence monitoring temperature and pressure suddenly find themselves destroyed by forces they never evolved to handle. The carefully organized infrastructure of the dermis community collapses into cellular debris as residents get eliminated by the needle bombardment. Your immune system patrol units witness this destruction with complete confusion and growing alarm. These security forces have training protocols for dealing with bacterial invasions, viral attacks, and physical injuries, but nothing in their operational procedures covers mechanical assaults accompanied by floods of unknown foreign particles. The immune cells start sending frantic chemical signals throughout the dermis, essentially broadcasting emergency alerts about unprecedented tissue damage requiring massive reinforcement deployment. The immune system confusion reaches peak levels as patrol units try to categorize the tattoo process using their existing threat assessment protocols. Some immune cells interpret the needle strikes as evidence of a coordinated biological attack and begin mobilizing for warfare. Others analyze the precision and repetitive nature of the damage and conclude that some kind of authorized construction work must be taking place. A third group decides that natural disasters are occurring and starts implementing emergency evacuation procedures for surviving cellular residents. Modern tattoo techniques create more controlled and precise damage patterns, but these technological improvements actually amplify the immune system's confusion rather than reducing it. Computerized needle depth control systems ensure consistent penetration levels that create uniform destruction patterns across the dermis landscape. Pneumatic tattoo machines deliver ink with surgical precision while maintaining constant pressure that maximizes tissue penetration. Smart tattoo equipment can adjust needle configuration in real time to optimize ink delivery while creating systematic cellular damage. These advanced techniques trigger the same ancient biological panic responses that evolved millions of years ago to handle physical trauma. Your immune system operates with programming that assumes any massive tissue damage indicates life-threatening emergencies requiring immediate mobilization of all available defensive resources. The precision of modern tattoo equipment doesn't calm these ancient fears. Instead, it creates consistent damage patterns that confuse immune cells even more than random injuries would. Emergency chemical signals flood through your bloodstream as the dermis patrol units call for massive reinforcements from immune system headquarters. These distress signals trigger cascading alarm responses throughout your entire biological infrastructure. Your bone marrow receives orders to accelerate white blood cell production. Your lymph nodes start preparing for potential biological warfare scenarios. Your spleen begins stockpiling additional immune system resources in case the situation escalates beyond local control capabilities. The reality of this biological emergency response becomes apparent when you consider that your body essentially declares maximum alert over what you consider a routine artistic procedure. While you sit calmly in the tattoo chair, your immune system mobilizes cellular warriors to respond to what it interprets as a coordinated assault on your biological infrastructure. Your body launches the same emergency protocols it would use for life-threatening injuries or massive infections, all because you decided to get artistic ink permanently placed in your skin. Modern tattoo equipment extends the initial cellular destruction phase significantly compared to traditional methods. Rotary machines can maintain consistent needle penetration for hours without the mechanical fatigue that limited older tattoo techniques. Advanced needle configurations create multiple simultaneous penetration points that multiply the destruction rate across larger surface areas. Digital tattoo systems can execute complex designs that require extended periods of precise needle work, prolonging the cellular damage for the duration of detailed artistic creation. Within minutes, macrophages and neutrophils rush in to treat the puncture wounds and clear cell debris and ink. Research shows these immune cells arrive within minutes of needle puncture, mobilizing from their patrol positions throughout the dermis to converge on the damaged sites. The initial destruction phase typically lasts between 30 minutes and several hours, depending on tattoo size and complexity. During this entire period, your immune system maintains peak emergency response levels, while trying to process the unprecedented combination of massive tissue damage and foreign particle invasion. Your dermis neighborhood transforms from peaceful biological community into an active emergency response zone as immune system reinforcements begin arriving at the destruction sites. Chemical alarm signals continue broadcasting throughout your body, summoning specialized response teams from distant biological outposts. The lymphatic waste management system goes into overdrive trying to process the massive amounts of cellular debris generated by the needle strikes. Blood vessel highways become congested with emergency response vehicles rushing toward the tattoo sites. The biological drama intensifies as your immune system realizes that the mechanical assault has stopped, but millions of ink particles now occupy the destroyed dermis neighborhoods, establishing unauthorized permanent residence among the cellular debris. The immune patrol units face the unprecedented challenge of dealing with foreign occupants who appear harmless but refuse to leave the premises. Your immune system now prepares to deploy its most elite response units to handle this unprecedented situation. The macrophage army mobilizes. Like first responders, macrophages swarm the wound to devour ink and debris. These cellular warriors represent the most hardcore problem solvers your body possesses, combining the dedication of Navy SEALs with the appetite of competitive eating champions. When the emergency signals from your destroyed Dermis neighborhood reach immune system headquarters, macrophages drop everything and race toward the disaster zone with single-minded determination that would make emergency responders jealous. They arrive within minutes and peak over the next few hours, launching a cleanup operation. These specialized immune cells begin converging on the tattoo site from throughout your dermis and surrounding tissues. They navigate through blood vessel highways and lymphatic back roads with GPS-level precision, following chemical distress signals that guide them directly to the zones of maximum destruction. These cellular first responders arrive at the tattoo site carrying impressive credentials for biological warfare. Macrophages spend their normal workdays functioning as professional janitors with military training and serious anger management issues. Their standard job description involves patrolling tissues, identifying anything that doesn't belong, and eliminating unauthorized substances through consumption and chemical destruction. They operate with the efficiency of industrial vacuum cleaners, combined with the aggression of guard dogs protecting their territory. Every macrophage carries sophisticated detection equipment that can identify foreign substances at the molecular level, plus chemical weapons capable of dissolving most biological threats. The scale of macrophage response to modern tattoo sessions reaches truly impressive proportions according to 2025 research data. A typical tattoo covering just a few square inches of skin triggers mobilization of between 200,000 and 500,000 macrophages within the first 24 hours. Larger tattoos covering significant surface areas can activate over 1 million of these cellular warriors simultaneously. Advanced imaging studies reveal that macrophage recruitment continues for days after the initial tattooing session, with reinforcement waves arriving as the immune system escalates its response to the persistent foreign particle presence. Macrophages operate according to a straightforward standard operating procedure that has served them well throughout millions of years of evolutionary development. Their tactical manual essentially reads, identify threat, surround threat, consume threat, ask questions never. These cellular security guards approach every unknown substance with the assumption that immediate consumption represents the safest response strategy. They engulf ink droplets just as they would bacteria, extending arm-like pseudopods that function like biological lassos, wrapping around foreign particles before dragging them into internal processing chambers where acid baths and enzyme attacks break down unauthorized materials. Modern research techniques allow scientists to observe macrophage response times and recruitment patterns with unprecedented precision. 2025 studies using advanced cellular tracking methods show that the first macrophages arrive at tattoo sites within 5 to 15 minutes of initial needle penetration. Peak macrophage concentration occurs between 2 to 6 hours after tattooing begins, with cellular density reaching levels comparable to active infection sites. Time-lapse imaging reveals macrophages continuing to arrive at tattoo locations for up to 72 hours after the mechanical damage stops. The chemical warfare arsenal that macrophages deploy at tattoo sites transforms the local tissue environment into a biological battleground. These cellular warriors release inflammatory compounds that increase blood vessel permeability, allowing additional immune system reinforcements to reach the combat zone more easily. They produce chemical attractants that summon more macrophages from distant locations, essentially broadcasting recruitment messages throughout the regional immune system network. The macrophages also release signaling molecules that activate nearby immune cells and prepare surrounding tissue for extended biological conflict. This chemical bombardment creates the swelling, redness, and heat that characterizes fresh tattoo sites during the initial healing period. The macrophage-released inflammatory compounds cause blood vessels to dilate and leak fluid into surrounding tissue, creating the puffy appearance that makes new tattoos look angry and irritated. These same chemicals sensitize nerve endings, contributing to the tenderness and pain that persists for days after tattooing sessions end. Your tattoo site essentially becomes ground zero for a chemical weapons demonstration conducted by your own immune system. The macrophage army approaches the tattoo ink invasion with supreme confidence based on their perfect track record of eliminating biological threats. These cellular warriors have successfully handled every security challenge your body has ever faced, from bacterial infections to cellular debris cleanup to foreign object removal. Their operational experience includes dissolving everything from splinters to dead tissue to various microscopic invaders. The macrophages arrive at the tattoo site fully expecting to apply their standard consumption-based problem-solving approach to whatever foreign substances they encounter. Advanced 2025 imaging studies reveal the impressive coordination involved in macrophage tactical operations. These cellular warriors don't arrive randomly. They establish organized perimeters around ink particle concentrations and coordinate their attacks through chemical communication networks. Groups of macrophages work together to surround larger ink deposits, while individual cells handle smaller particle clusters. The level of tactical sophistication rivals military operations, Except the entire campaign gets conducted by microscopic janitors with eating disorders. The macrophage deployment reaches such intensity that tattoo sites become some of the most immune cell-dense locations in your entire body during the initial response phase. Tissue biopsies from fresh tattoos show macrophage concentrations exceeding those found in actively infected wounds or surgical sites. These cellular warriors pack themselves so densely around ink particles that normal tissue architecture gets disrupted by the sheer volume of immune system personnel crowding into limited space. But the macrophages are about to encounter their greatest professional challenge. These cellular problem solvers who have built their entire career on successful consumption and destruction of foreign materials are about to meet tattoo ink particles that refuse to cooperate with established elimination protocols. The immune system's most elite troubleshooters, armed with millions of years of evolutionary experience and chemical weapons capable of dissolving most biological threats, are about to discover that some problems can't be solved by eating them. Meet your new permanent roommates. Tattoo ink particles exist on a scale that makes them absolutely massive compared to the cells trying to eliminate them.